I want to see who all can spot the turn in this article. The turn from this is just an article reporting some information to, something else. It's Free Comic Book Day, and readers around the world are lining up at comic shops for various marketing and promotional material coming from Marvel, DC, and others. For the most part, it marks a great day for comic book stores and the comic industry. But this year, there's a sour note, as Flying Colors, the flagship store that started Free Comic Book Day, is going to be gone by this time next year. Joe Field, the purveyor of Flying Colors, announced that the shop lost its lease in late 2023. The shopping center that's hosted the comic book store for decades decided to lease the space to some other company, which it doesn't say here, but in that Twitter post that I saw, it's apparently a bagel shop, in a move that is no doubt precipitated by a fear of what the future holds for the comic book industry. It's right there. I mean, I know you guys, there's like a little bit of a delay, but it's right there.
Yeah.
That's the fucking turn. Over the last couple of years, warning signs have hit. Sales have declined after COVID-19 shut down stores. People got out of the habit of going to shops, and when Marvel and DC Comics had their customers back, they increasingly pushed woke replacement characters on their fans rather than producing quality content. Holy shit, is that a loaded statement, man? Like, holy shit.
So this guy isn't quoting Joe Field, though. This is the writer of the article.
Yeah, no, there's no quote here.
That's just him editorializing, because you know what's funny is all of this we're going out of business stuff this article is pushing. I've got a tweet from Joe Field that I have shared on the screen.
Let's be clear, Flying Colors Comics is not going out of business. We will be moving to a new location in the coming months. In the meantime, we'd like to see you in our Oak Grove Plaza location. Love comics and support your local comic shop. Fuck Boom. Yeah. And he fucking retweeted. Okay, so it's Fandom Pulse, guys. It's Fandom Pulse. They're pieces of shit. John De La Rose is a stupid piece of shit, and he knows he is. He's a grifted motherfucker who grifted on the fucking corpse of Ed Piskor. Still doing it as far as I know. After being someone who contributed to the cacophony of bullshit he was getting prior to his taking his own life, then he turned around and started saying, "Oh, they killed him. The SJWs killed him and stuff." There are almost. You're probably not going to hear of too many people in your life that like is a worse person than this. That's not just like a rich person or a politician or something, right?
So this is even worse than just like lying about, oh, this comic store is closing because of wokeness or whatever. Because he did that, because he has spread this misinformation, the owner of that store has to go out in public and go, no. You are now wasting the time of a comic shop owner. Probably on his, I don't know, like what his schedule is, but like he had to do that on a Sunday, like come out and go, oh yeah, no, this fucker is lying about our store. This John De La Rose fucko does not care about comics. He's lying about what's happening to a comic store for clicks.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it could hurt the business of a comic store. Because like if for whatever reason you read this article and you go to that comic store normally, but you don't like think to ask because you saw it online, so it must be true. Oh, and then your shop's gone. Oh, well, you knew it was closing.
Can I tell you the truth? None of these guys care about comics.
Oh, not a fucking rip.
Yeah, the no doubt precipitated by a fear of what the future holds for the comic industry. What does that mean? You know,
that's
because
it's nebulous, right? It's vague. It's intentionally vague. What are they going to go out of business? No,
not
anytime soon.
So sales have declined after COVID-19 shut down stores. I'd like to know
that's not true.
What information he is drawing from, for one thing,
right? It's like, yes, it did hurt brick and mortar stores 100%, 100,000%, but that didn't kill comics.
And yeah, look, I've already done a video on this, by the way. Replacement characters. Name one character that's been replaced. You can't. Now, has there been characters that were taken off the board temporarily while another character was introduced? Yes, but that was back in 2016 or 17 or something. They haven't really done that again since then. Do you know what these grifters, you know how we can tell they don't care? Yeah.
None of them are mad that Rock Slide was done dirty and replaced by Wrong Slide.
Dude, Wrong Slide. Fucking Wrong Slide, man. He was just happy to be here, guys. Like the mutant was just happy to be here.
Right.
For a short time. What a fucking
what a hero.
True Chad behavior.
Absolutely.
How can you hate Wrong Slide? Well, nobody hates Wrong Slide. We're saying that they don't even know who Wrong Slide is.
They don't even know, right? These people who are like, oh, they're always replacing characters. Like they literally replaced a character, and they had nothing to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bob. So the thing is that you know, the reason when I made a video about it a while back.
Oh yeah.
Guy had in my comments, because I'd seen plenty of people say it, and finally I got someone to actually make a list of who he was talking about, because I was like, who are you even meaning?
Right.
And he said like Ghost Rider, Captain America, the Hulk, Nick Fury, who else? There was Wolverine, and you know, things like that. And I'm like, none of these characters have been replaced. And then I defined what replaced means. None of them have been taken away and then put another one in their place. At least not permanently. Well, it just hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't had several, you know, even if we take Green Lantern off the table, because I get that, like, people don't want to admit that Alan Scott exists and that every Green Lantern is a legacy character for Alan Scott.
Anybody that talks about a comic book character as if it's ruined forever somehow, I just doubt that they are very experienced in reading comics, because they're kind of defined almost, you know, partly by resorting to status quo and going back to status quo. And if there is something that's crazy is done, is like, let's say Frank Castle's family's been alive the whole time, that would be nuts. It would be kind of fucking crazy. But then they would have like another writer come along after and then make it so that was not really the case. If you just look at the Clone Saga of the 90s, if they could get out of the Clone Saga and Spider-Man wasn't ruined, they can do anything.
Do
anything. Fucking idiot, dude. Like, nobody else is as dumb as you think they are, John. Like, nobody's using this fucking content that's in your articles. And I hope you at least know that. Please know that. You know, yes, people do use your content to fucking push in your narrative that you're trying to get pushed. You know,
but it's the usual suspects. It's not anyone who isn't just preaching to your exact choir and already.
But they're using the headlines, you stupid fuck. None of this garbage that you're saying in here is fucking doing anything. It's just a bunch of garbage. That's maybe why you write garbage. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, unselling. Unselling?
Is that very good editing?
Yeah. Oh, well, they have the best editing. It doesn't get better in DC Comics, which YouTube commentator Richard Seameyer, just going right to the best fucking sources.
Yeah.
Calls the comic equivalent of a gay bar. Wow.
Like that's a bad thing?
It seems like DC Comics has turned every character into some sort of hashtag Pride Month display, but it happens year round. No, it doesn't. True. That's just not true. I mean, not that would be terrible anyway, like, but
I mean, like,
anybody that reads this stuff, that takes this seriously at all, like, you have to see where the language is getting intentionally vague, right?
Right.
Like, when you want to know how many characters DC has, you know what? Maybe I'll look it up real quick.
It's a large number. Well, you know, I'm sure they're going to mention, you know, Alan Scott's Green Lantern book in this, but like, there's 2 other ongoing Green Lantern books, and they're both about, you know, straight cis dudes. One of them's even white.
Okay, so there's over 30,000 characters in the DC universe.
That is more than I thought.
Let's see. Turned every character into some. Wow, that's 30,000 characters. No, the death of Free Comic Book Day. Like, dude, you're such a piece of shit, John. Like,
and yeah, the hyperbole in the headline and
sales have been in decline. Prove it, motherfucker. A recent comic shop, Cosmic Comics, posted that its 2023 sales were terrible. Instead of bouncing back in 2024, it has faced even worse sales thus far, pushing the long time. Okay, yes, comic book shops closed. Now, the thing that they don't fucking do, that they won't do, they never do. Hold on, I got one. I got an example.
Is talk about how retail stores in general are in decline because of online shopping.
They don't talk about the ones that open.
That too.
Like this one. Chuds on Twitter have a field day anytime there's news of a comic shop closing, which never has anything to do with comics themselves. But it does in the sense that, like, comics have always been on a fucking knife's edge, man. Like, you can look throughout the history of comic books. Yes, they have moments in the sun and whatnot. Typically, that moment in the sun, the biggest one anyway, biggest ones, 50s and the 90s, are followed by a fucking very steep decline that like almost kills the industry. Yeah. But they were always radio silent anytime there's news about a new comic shop opening. I wonder why that is. Yeah, so congratulations to Crooked Dog Comics, brand new local comic shop in Middleton, Ohio. Bob, is that close to you? Is that where you are? Celebrating their grand opening today. This was yesterday. Let's fucking go. Yeah.
That's awesome. What was the town in Ohio?
Middleton.
Not
too far off. 40 minutes. Good dude. You should go, Bob. Fucking go interview him, man. Yes, do it. Do it. Okay, we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, you love to see it. And look, you know what? I should do some research. If anybody wants to help me out on that, and you know of a shop that's opened up recently or in the last even couple of years or something, and you want to send me that information, you can do that on Discord or an email, actualfandom@gmail.com. I kind of want to look into this, do some investigating. And of course, they don't talk about the fact that, you know, when a brick and mortar store closes, it's just because it's a brick and mortar store. You typically like, and maybe it could even be the case that the owners of that place made some bad decisions or something, or maybe they, you know, can't keep up, whatever. Like, the assumption always being that it's wokeness and that's it. It's bullshit.
Well, it goes back to the thing that appeals to these sorts of people is they want a simple solution. They want a simple explanation. They don't want the nuance. They don't want the variables. They want one thing they can blame all of their problems on.
It's the 22nd annual Free Comic Book Day at the East Bay shop where it all began. It's also the final event at the longtime home of Flying Colors Comics, but the owner says this is not the end of their story.
The idea for Free Comic Book Day was born right here and really took off.
The largest event in comics every year. It's a Free Comic Book Day, an event that I founded back in 2001 that got its first event in early 2002.
So what inspired Flying Colors Comics owner Joe Field?
I looked out our front window and I saw a line, and they weren't coming into my store. They were going to Baskin-Robbins for free scoop night.
And the phenomenon was born.
Free Comic Book Day started here years ago, but this one holds special significance this year. It looks like it's the last one at this location.
We've lost our lease.
Field says their lease is up in January, but says the tradition is not over, and this is not the end of their story.
We will be moving to a new location.